So we're going to talk about telling your story, okay? Everybody has a story. So number one, somebody drop that. Everyone has a story. I don't care if you just signed up today. You have a story. Everyone has a story, okay? I'm going to say it one more time. Everyone has a story, okay? Say that with me. Drop that in the comments. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. Period. Everyone has a story. Hey, Kaya. Yes, thank you, Erica. Drop that in the comments. Everyone has a story. So let's talk about how to tell your story. So it's like, I don't have no story. Like, I don't have a story. Yes, you do. I want to tell you guys about how I created my story when I first started. When I created my story when I first started, come on, like when I first started, I still had a story. First of all, if God woke you up this morning, you have a story, right? Because listen, I laid down in the bed last night and then God decided to touch me. And so, come on now, listen, who's ever read like The Cat in the Hat? That's a story, right? It's a story that's sold millions and billions of copies. Or who's ever read like small kids books that are like super duper small and it's like 5 pages of three words, like super duper, or a picture story, right? Like a picture story where you have to actually make up your story. There's always a story, always. And so when people come into this business and they think they don't have a story, it's because you're not empowering them to tell their story. Just because your story is not at the magnitude of building a house does not mean that you don't have a story. So you have a story. So thank you for dropping that. Everyone has a story. So number one, Rachel, how do I tell my story? There's 4 components for me. 4 components. Number one is, where were you before It Works found you? Number one, where were you before It Works found you? And in the midst of that, how did It Works find you? So how did It Works find you and what was life like? How did It Works find you and what was life like? Think to the moment that you first heard about the business opportunity. How did It Works find you and what was life like? Number one, can somebody drop that in the comments? Number one, how was life when It Works found you? How was life when It Works found you? How was life? Those of you guys who are joining us, communicate, come in, speak to us. How did It Works find you and what was life like? So I want you guys to answer that question in the comments. How did It Works find you and what was life like? A lot of y'all found this business on social media. So like I was scrolling on social media and I saw this girl posting about a house and I was like, that's a lie. So I went in there and I looked and it was like, ooh, maybe that's real. And then one day I went to her house and I was like, okay, yes, I got to join. Why? Because my life sucked at that moment. Like, okay, so I'm going to tell myself. I'm going to tell y'all my story. So the question is, how did It Works find you and what was life like, right? So It Works found me at a rap party back in 2013. Y'all, I didn't even have $20 to go and try to rap, but I just pulled $20 out my butt. I don't even know how that works. Like pulling from gas money or money that I really didn't have or money I shouldn't have been spending to go and support this friend at a business. Y'all, I was so insecure. I was insecure about my body. I was insecure about my finances. I was insecure about my life. I was back in grad school for another master's that I did not want in order to pay for my son's school. So I was actually in school at the time that I went to a rap party for another master's. I was just about to start grad school for the summer so that I could get a refund check to pay for my son's private school come August. Like I had a whole plan about how I was going to continue to go to school so that I could pay for my son's tuition for school. He was in private school and I was a single mom. So it was really important to me. So that is how It Works found me. I was invited to a party. What was life like? I was broke. I was broke and I was living my best life that I knew to live. And what was that? Partying all day with no money. So I could numb the pain of the fact that my life was not where I wanted it to be. I was miserable during the day at work. And then at night, I found a way. Y'all, I found a picture. Don't judge me. I'm just going to tell y'all. I found a picture of me drinking a platinum Bud Light and eating some tricks. I straight posted it too. That's how miserable my life was. Shout out to everybody who drink beer. That ain't me, but like I was just drinking my life away. Anyway, so that's number one. Thank you guys who dropped that. Kaya said, life, mostly my job was frustrating and stressing you out. And you got a Facebook message. So somebody Facebook messaged you. So drop it in the comments. It's 17 of y'all on here. Y'all drop it in the comments. What was life like when you said yes? Like, how did it works find you and what was life like? Drop it in the comments. All right, number 2. Because of it works. Actually, that was 1 and 2 together. That was 1 and 2 together. So how did it works find you? What was your life like before it works? That's number 2. Number 3 is because of it works. What has happened to your life because of it works? If you have a lot of stuff, just pick 3 things. Number 3, what is life like because of it works? What is your life like because of it works? So for me, I got a book. I always tell people, like, how much time you got? Like, how much, I got a lot to share with you. Like, how much time you got? So drop in the comments, what is life like because of it works? Y'all, do not minimize how your life is changing. Like, this is real. Do not minimize how your life is changing. You could literally be like, I wanted to jump out the bed today because I felt like I had purpose. I was excited to get on my meetings. I was excited to get on prayer. I was excited to help anybody and other people out. I had so much hope. That is a because of it works. You might be like, you know what? I got up and I was like, bro, today I can make as much money as I want to. And I've never been in a position where I can make as much money as I wanted to from my phone. That could be your because of it works. If you haven't started making money. But me, when I first started, my because of it works was, my first 2 weeks, I made $400 in rep cash. That was enough for me to skate off of. I made $400 in rep cash in 2 weeks. Like, just out here slinging racks. Like, I was never able to make that kind of increase and without giving so much of my time by sitting and braiding and doing hair. So what is your and because of it works? It may not start out financial, but I want y'all to be okay with saying the financial things and not minimizing the financial things. Okay, let's be clear. If you made $40, if you made $40, that is a big deal. People are not out here making $40 from their phone. They're not doing it. So stop minimizing what this business is doing for you. If you made $30 in cash today, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. The extra income, like It Works put gas in my tank, that's a big deal. What has It Works done for you financially that you are minimizing and not talking about because you don't think it's big enough as all the bonuses that I've gotten? People don't believe in bonuses. I tell people all the time, when I went to that party and it was like $15,000 a month, I was like, that is cute. But I don't know nobody that makes $15,000 a month. So I can't relate to that. Like, I can't even fathom making $15,000 a month. But what I could relate to is an extra $500 a month so I'd be able to pay for my son's tuition. And so that's what I went for. That's what I was going for. And so when I made them $400 in my first 2 weeks, I was like, oh, shoot, like, wait a second. Maybe I can make some coins off of this, right? So they'll be able to relate to those small wins. And so those small wins that you think are nothing, they are a big deal. Talk about the money that you are making, but even talk about the life changes that are happening within you. So if you just started, let's just say it's my first week and I'm telling my story. Hey, let me give y'all the last one. Number four. So number 1 is how it works found you. Number 2 is before it works. Number 3 is your because of it works. What has it works done for your life? And number 4 is where are you going? What is the hope that you have for your life because of it works? So where are you going? So in the beginning, it was, I'm going to pay my son's tuition in cash from It Works Global Money. Like, that was it. I wanted to be able to pay for my son's tuition. That's where it started. I literally just wanted to pay for my son's tuition. So I'm going to walk you guys through. I just signed up. I'm in my first month with It Works. And I want to tell you guys, I'm nasal. My nasal passage. I don't know. I was just laying down. But hopefully you guys can still understand me. So it's all good. I just signed up. And here is my story. My name is Rachel Wiggum. I started It Works back in June. So it's 2013. Back in June of 2013. I found It Works. I was invited to a rap party by this girl I hang out with, and she invited me. I really didn't even have no money to go and support her at her party, but I decided to go. Before It Works, y'all, like at that time, like when I started the business, so when I started last month, my life right now, I'm a children's mental health case manager, and I have a master's degree and master's level position, but I struggle to make ends meet. Like I'm not able to make ends meet. There it go. Some of y'all are embarrassed to tell y'all story. It's okay to, you know what? let's shame the devil. And I want to just give you some encouragement that it won't always be like this. Okay, it won't always be like this. And little do you know, your bravery of saying, you know what, I be in between checks, like I'm straight up in between checks. Some people aren't brave enough to say that, or living paycheck to paycheck. That got people's attention. That's why I was able to build the way that I was able to build, because I was willing to say, yo, I got a master's and I'm not able to make ends meet. I have a master's degree and I'm not able to make ends meet as a single mom who's paying for daycare, who's paying for tuition. My son is in school, who's paying for a car, who's paying for all the utilities, who can't afford, well, not afford. I make too much money to get food stamps. So I was willing to share that that's where my life was right now. So but I could just say, you know, I'm a mental health case manager who has a master's degree, who still needs extra income. I could say that if I didn't want to get that deep. So because of It Works, because of It Works, I joined this company only a month ago. I made $400 in cash. Like I made $400 in cash. And then I even got a check on the 15th that was like $25, but that's awesome. And then on top of that, these products are bombed. Have y'all seen my results? Like my stomach, like is toning up. And so I'm feeling more confident and all that jazz. Where am I going? Y'all, listen, I heard this girl's story and legit, like I see the money that can be made and I see myself being full-time in this business in the next year. Like I want the freedom of time. I want my time back. I want to be able to be out here and be my own boss. That could be it. That's it. It's that. Embrace your truth. That is right. Embrace your truth. And so that's it. Real quick, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to let you guys go watch the recording, but that's how you tell your story. But I don't want to hear about nobody talking about I don't have a story. You have a story. You have a story. You signed up for a business. And so on day one, you have a story. Stop minimizing your story. Somebody is going to connect directly with your story, not my story. I've been doing this for 7.5 years. But your people, they're like, okay, wait a second. And she's sharing about her journey. Oh, wait, she done made some money already. People join businesses and don't make any money for months, for years. So you minimizing your $20, your $15, your fast start, your $50, your $20 cash, or $60 cash, or even getting $150 shopping spree. Don't minimize any of that. You shout out the goodness of God every single step of the way. And anytime you feel inspired by somebody else's story, by somebody else's success, you share that in a hopeful manner of that's going to be you plus some. That's going to be your team plus some. The people who are coming to you have the opportunity to succeed just like these people have been successful, because that is where you're going. And that is all I did. And I told my story every step of the way, which is why a lot of people are on this team today, which is why all of y'all know my story, because I've been sharing it over and over and over. And then what happens is I become more vulnerable as God starts to bring me out, and I decide that I'm going to share about how God brought me out. And because the Bible says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, I get the freedom that I always wanted. And so I start to walk in my freedom, which gravitates more people towards me. So share your story. Share your story. Share your story. Chastity, girl, go get you some Skinny Brew and some keto coffee or whatever. Take the products. They change your life. Peace out, y'all.